What's up, guys? This is your man Stan, and it's been a while since I've been on here. I've been super busy with all this crap going on. Being in the retail world doesn't make it slow whatsoever, especially when you're essential. Um, I've got a couple books that I'm sending out to Comics Altruism, one of his people that he wanted me to send some books out. Those are the ones going out there. I should have sent these out weeks ago. And then Wilbert answered a question correctly on this book right here. This book ended up being a 3.5, Wilbert. Moisture damage, and I guess just the amount of spine ticks and discoloration, color breaking creases, ended up being a 3.5. Couple things that I didn't think were going to grade so harshly. Unfortunately, 3.5. Very disappointed with the grade of this book, but that's okay. That is okay. It's okay. And for that, Wilbur won a slab. A She-Hulk slab. So awesome story. This is the Savage She-Hulk number 3. I ordered a Savage She-Hulk number 1. The person sent me out this book and said, "Oh, I mistakenly sent out the wrong book to another person. That person I got that book, but really, I don't think they did." And he's like, "You can send that one back. You just have to pay shipping." I'm like, "Wait a second, I have to pay shipping? Or you can just buy the book at 15 bucks. Guys, this was years ago, and I'm just like, you know what? Shipping's gonna cost me that much. I could have fought it. I was just like done. Never bought from the seller again. But what a BS story from a seller. And now Wilbert gets to own this fine book that I never wanted to have in the first place. This is the only slab I really never wanted to have, that never envisioned purchasing, and got it anyway. PGX, by the way. 9.2? Yeah. Great slab, Wilbert. You're my winner, dude. Hey, do you mind sending me out your address again? I'll have like the info for where you have to send anything in the description below. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys what I'm sending out to CGC tomorrow. It's a lot of books. Some of these have been cracked, pressed, and a lot of them have just been purchased and then pressed by moi. I did a pretty decent job on my last CGC submission, and I think I could do it again. So I'm doing it again. I've got a different press now because the one I had broke, it cracked. Not sure if anyone else had that same issue ever happening, but maybe I'm just pressing my books too hard. I don't know. Or it was just cheap ass press. It's probably the reason. Here's one that I had cracked and pressed. This is Flash number 110. I cracked it from a 4.5, and I'm hoping it can get a 6.0. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll see. It was a CGC older label that I cracked and pressed. So from a 4.0 or 4.5 to a 6.0. That's what I'm hoping for. Here we've got Detective Comics number 400, First Man Bat. I'm hoping to get a 4.0. This was graded at a 3.0, and I'm hoping to get a 4.0. This was from Heritage. Yep. It's from Heritage. This one I got from Half Price Books. It's the Giant Size Chillers number 1. First Lilith. Uh, purchased it for like 35 bucks. They probably graded it at a fine, so probably a 6.0, maybe a 6.5. I think I'd get a 7.5 out of that after pressing. This one I also had cracked and pressed. This is an Iron Fist number 14, first Sabretooth. I bought it at C2E2 this past year from a seller that had it for a really reasonable price. I thought he had a very decent deal on this book, at least the deal that I'd asked for. He gave it to me from an 8.0 to an 8.5. I'm not going to get much of a grade bump, but maybe I'll get a 9. We'll see. We'll see. This one I just cleaned and pressed. Why Less Man? Seller said it was a 9.2. I'm hoping for a 9.6 after cleaning and pressing. Here is also one that I cracked and hopefully will increase in value. Werewolf by Night number 32. From a 6.5 to maybe a 7. I cracked it from a CBCS slab though, so I'm hoping to get a 7 out of the CGC slab. I've always thought that CBCS graded a little harsher. Sometimes they grade the book just a little bit harsher than CGC, I've noticed. And that's because I think they grade the interiors as well. It's not just the cover. It's not just what the cover looks like. Sometimes the pages inside are a little tattered, damaged, whereas the cover is not, and they grade on that. So I think it's a much more truer grade. But CGC sell for more, so of course I'm gonna regrade it. Hopefully get a lot higher grade, right? Here we've got a Hulk number 1, first Red Hulk, 9.6. So when I purchased it, I was thinking maybe it was a 9.2, 9.4 possibly, and I thought I could maybe raise it, so I pressed it. Here I've got Strange Tales number 169, first Brother Voodoo. Hoping to get a 5.5 out of this after grading, or after pressing. Well, hopefully after grading as well. Here's another one I picked up at C2E2. It's Adam Legend of the Blue Marvel number 1. They sold it to me for $150. I actually got it for $120. Got a little bit off. They said it was a 9.0. I thought I could at least get a 9.4 out of it. Possibly a 9.6. Possibly a 9.6. I am not getting a 9.8 out of this. There's no way. There's a tick that's pretty prominent right there. And I think that just blows it off that 9.8 level. Hot book. I think it's also a book that will gain value as time goes on. Here we got Moon Knight number 1, Sienkiewicz cover. Beautiful book. I bought this raw as well a while ago. This was at least 6 years ago. I had it graded at 8.5. After pressing, I thought it looked like a 9.2. So. And then we've got another Moon Knight number 1. Probably got it around the same time when I really got into Moon Knight. I'm thinking it's going to come back a 9.2. This one doesn't have much of an increase after the press. Okay, here we got Darth Vader number 3. First Dr. Afara. From a 9.0 to a 9.4, possibly. We'll see. Do you hear that? I noticed some of the other ones I pressed, the pages stuck together. after thinking that they wouldn't at the temperature that I had set the press at, and they still did. Didn't get ruined by any means, but I did have to pull pages apart. And on the one that was the lowest grade I had done first, and you can definitely tell some of the wear after the pressing. So the heat ripped a little bit of the color off each page and put it on the other page, which no bueno. But I learned my lesson at that lower grade. It was a 6.0, which I'm just going to sell as a 6.0. It didn't increase in value at all. If anything, the pages just suck. So if anyone wants that book, let me know. I'll give you a great deal on it. The one I screwed up pressing on. Here we've got a Fantastic Four, number 46, First Black Bolt. After cleaning and pressing, a 4.5. I purchased it at a 3.0. So that's what I purchased it at. Here we've got a Thor 337. Definitely a hot book now. Seller gave it an 8.0. I didn't think it was an 8.0. There was no way. After the amount of cleaning that I had to do, and then the pressing that I had to do along the spine especially, no. It was a 7.5. And I think I got it to an 8.5. So, not much of an increase, but somewhat. Here we've got a Savage She-Hulk number 1. This was a graded book that I cracked from an 8.5 to a 9.0. So, not much of a difference, but nonetheless, higher grade. This one, I purchased raw. The seller said it was an 8.5. I don't think so. This is Weird Fantasy number 15. Classic bondage cover. I mean, maybe not classic, but classic to me. I've always enjoyed these alien bondage covers. I think they're hilarious. Great looking book. It's from a personal collection. It's not the Mile High collection. It's the 1.4 Mile High collection. I think that's what it's called. And yeah, they said it was a very fine near mint. Not by my standards. But it's in beautiful shape. Beautiful shape. And after pressing, I think it's an 8.0. It's not a very fine near mint though. There's just no way. I don't know if I paid very fine near mint price on this raw, but I paid a lot for it. So, beautiful book. Beautiful book. The colors are just fantastic. That blue and yellow just... Everyone loves the yellow. Everybody. Every freaking really decent-minded comic book collector loves yellow on their books. And this tiny amount is just beautiful, especially against that blue. God, I love it against red too, but yeah. Anyway. Another Weird Fantasy. This one's 21. This is a Frazetta cover, but not fully Frazetta. This has another artist on it, and I can't remember. It has a subscription crease that I was able to press out reasonably well to the point where you can't make it out. But there's also a small tear on the cover as well. I thought I brought it from a 3.0 that I initially graded it at to a 3.5. So, not much of a grade higher, but hey, I'll take it. Here we've got Brave and the Bold, number 34. God, what a beautiful book. This was cracked from a 5.5 CBCS. This was correct. I thought it was way better than that, especially after pressing. Hopefully, I'll get a 6.0. There's a possible 6.5 in the works here. CGC. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, mate. It's beautiful, yeah? Yeah, no worries, bruv. No worries. We've got Century #1. San Diego Comic Con exclusive, yeah? It's a beautiful book. I believe it was a 7.0 before pressing and cleaning. Cleaning/pressing. It was just dirty, mate. It was just ultra dirty. Uber dirty. But I think I got it to a decent level where it still looks white, right? It looks white. Clean as a whistle, right? I think I got it to an 8.0 after the work that I put into this book. From a 7.0 to an 8.0 all day, mate. Here we've got... Here, let me take it out. Maybe I shouldn't, but I really want to because I want to take it out before I send it off. Let's just say it's a classic for Zeta. Weird Science Fantasy, number 29. Look at that. Look how nice and neat that cover is. It just presents so well. It has a tear that's pretty major on the front cover that you can't even tell. You couldn't even tell when I did that, could you? You couldn't even tell. 3.0. It'll come back a 3.0, unfortunately. Gotta lock it back up. Lock it back up. What a beautiful book. 3.0. Here we've got a Fantastic Four, number 49. Subscription increase. Seller said it was a 3.0. Before the pressing, before the cleaning, this was a 2.0 all day. All day. It was bad. Crinkled, flattened it out just enough to make it presentable to sell, but my God, I would have never paid what I paid for this book if I saw the way it was in the light that I'd saw it, that I'd seen it when I got it. 3.0, possibly a 3.5, depending on the grader's day. Here's a book I've been wanting for a very long time. Another one the seller said it was high grade. Seller said this was a 9.0. Near min minus. That's what they said. No effing way. After its press, it's possibly a 9.2. This was an 8.0, 8.5 all day at selling. This is why you have to watch your sellers. They will not grade accurately because that's their eye. And their eye always leans toward a better grade when they're trying to sell something for money. Think about it, right? So many buyers are getting tricked into buying comics that they think are going to be sent off straight away. I'm just going to mail it straight away, not even going to open it, and get the grade I'm getting from the seller. No. You have to look at your books and make sure that it's the grade that you expect it to be, because not everyone has the same standards. Okay? So, and this was one of them, obviously. Oh, I got this one years ago, and it was so messed up and beat up. I don't remember what the seller sold it as. But I think I'll get a 4.0 out of this. Werewolf by Night number 2. The first Werewolf by Night. Or this is a Marvel Spotlight number 2. The first Werewolf by Night, sorry. Excusez-moi. Mon chéri. But this was a beat up book, especially along the spine. Can you tell? And I pressed it reasonably well to get that 4.0. Possibly a 4 or 5. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see. Hey guys, for my next video, oh boy, I'll be cracking or not cracking the following books for pressing and cleanings. See what you like. Please subscribe, hit the like button, or screw you, don't hit like button at all. You make no difference. I don't care. This is for shits and gigs. Love you guys. Peace.